All right, so let's look at number 9 and 10 for prep test 24, game 2. Uh, if 9 says, if Maya is scheduled for the second performance, which one of the following could be true? So they're telling us to put Maya here. Let me put that in blue. Oops. Okay, and they want to know what can be true. But before we go to the answers, we need to do some analysis. So as we've been doing before, we noticed they filled one of the spots in which P could go. And so that means that P has only one place it can go now, so it has to go fifth, right? P had to be second or fifth. They put M in second, so P had to go fifth. Uh, and now we need to figure out if there's anything else we can do. And the other thing that's been driving a lot of action is the KJ block. So let's look at that. It looks like that can go in either 3 or 4 or 6 or 7. So one possibility, and I'm just going to draw them out, is KJ, and otherwise we could, replicate this and this, and then go here. Now, you might be able to do this question without drawing these two out, and I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. In fact, if that helps you to go faster, that's totally fine. But I'm just trying to be thorough with the drawing so that people don't get confused. And also, my own opinion is that it doesn't take very long to create these drawings. These two templates here. So, and it makes it a lot easier to make sure that you're right about your answer. And so I think for the vast majority of people who take the LSAT, the right strategy would be to draw these two out rather than try to do the analysis all in your head. Okay, so let's figure out what if anything else we can know. The people we have left are L, N, and O, and it looks like on the bottom template right here, it looks like there's no real restrictions on L, N, and O. The rule that says if L is third, then N is fifth, that rule doesn't apply. And the rule that says M is before P, that's satisfied, K, J is taken care of, and P is in fifth both times. So all the rules are basically satisfied already on the bottom template. So it looks like, for 1, 6, and 7, those spots could be filled by either L, N, or O. Okay, let's look at the top template then and see if there's anything else we can do or if that's uh, all, as far as we can go, just like the first template. Um, so here the third spot is actually open, but the fifth spot is not. So with this rule over here, actually is in play because we want to make sure we don't put L in third, because if we did, we would have to put N in fifth, but fifth is already taken. So let's say that L can't go in third, which means that it has to be either N or O. Okay? Um, Aside from that, it looks like uh, the other spots, 1 and 4, could be either L, N, or O. So that looks like it's as far as we can take the setup here. Sorry about that. And now we need to look at the answers. So let's see. We want to know what could be true. So we look at the answers. It says A says Jamie is scheduled for the sixth performance. Uh, on the bottom template, Jamie is scheduled fourth, and on the top template, Jamie is scheduled seventh. So there's no way that Jamie could be scheduled sixth. A's out. B says Ken is scheduled for the fourth performance. The bottom template is third, and on the top template is sixth. So there's no way that Ken could be fourth. B's out. C says Lolita is scheduled for the third performance. We look at the third spot, and it's either going to be K or it's going to be N or O. In fact, we just figured out why L could not be in the third performance on this top template, right? We said because if we put L in third, then N would have to be in fifth, and P's already there. So that's out. So D says Norton is scheduled for the fifth performance. The fifth performance in both of the scenarios we came up with is going to be fifth. So, sorry, the fifth performance is going to be P. So it can never be Norton. And then hopefully E is the answer. It says Olive is scheduled for the fourth performance. So it can't be on the bottom template, but yeah, on the top template, Olive can be scheduled for the fourth performance as long as we put N in third. And so that's why E is the answer, because it's possible in one of the templates. Okay, so now let's look at number 5. Let's take this off the board. Sorry, number 10. If Jamie's performance is scheduled to be immediately before Lolita's performance, Jamie's performance cannot be scheduled to be, and then we need to figure out where Jamie cannot go. So what they've done in the prompt is add, uh, let's see, they've added Jamie's performance schedule. So Jamie is going to be immediately before Lolita, so they've added Lolita to this block, right? And so we need to figure out where Jamie cannot go. Okay, but really when we place Jamie, we'll be placing the whole block. So we need to figure out, which three spots can the block not take up. Um, and let's think about this for a second, because at first you might be struggling to figure out what is going to be the relevant rule here. And the way you want to think about this is what rule is going to trigger some action. Okay, because if a rule doesn't trigger any action, then obviously it can't be the rule that is going to be problematic or that is going to create a problematic situation. So the one rule that looks like it would drive action is this rule over here, which says if L is third, then N is going to be fifth, right? Now that by itself isn't a problem. The only thing is let's look and see if, because we could put K in 1, J in 2, L in 3, and then put N in 5. But if we look a little closer, then we see that that does create a problem for the P, right? Because the P was supposed to be in second or fifth, but if we were to make this kind of a placement, should make these all bigger so you can see them. Sorry. If this was like this, okay, then the N would have to go here, which would create a problem for the P, because the P was supposed to be either in second or fifth. Okay, so the answer is where can J not be? J cannot be second. And that point that I was making before we picked the answer, which was that when you're looking for something that's going to create a problem, you clearly need to look for some placement that's going to drive a lot of action, or at least drive some action. And in this case, uh, the rule that we had to use in order to drive action, or the rule that we had to activate, was L in 3, and that led to N in 5, which creates a problem for P. Okay? Uh, all right, so that's the end of this game. Hopefully, you learned something, and I'll see you in some of the other videos. All right.